Hello, I'm David Barlow. Today we're going to be discussing why you should trust your injury lawyer. I think this might seem kind of obvious why you should trust your lawyer, but still a lot of people find this difficult for some reason, and we're going to be discussing this. All this information is found on our webpage. You just click on the free advice page. Scroll down, I believe it's about halfway down as far as all those pages that are there. We have dozens of helpful information pages for you. And this is the page why you should trust your Honolulu injury lawyer. I think this goes back to the whole lack of trust of lawyers in our society in general. There's probably more lawyer jokes than there are, car salesman jokes or jokes about any other profession. So unfortunately, for some reason, lawyers are not thought of really well in society. Not sure exactly why, but I guess it is what it is, like they say. I think that may be because a lot of lawyers do charge by the hour. It's known as getting your billable hours. So lawyers, I guess they're kind of known for racking up as many hours as possible with their clients, whether you're at a major law firm where you're expected to submit so many billable hours per week, or if it's just a small law firm where the lawyer's getting paid by the hour. For example, criminal defense lawyers are paid by the hour, maybe family law, many others types of lawyers are paid by the hour. So understandably, lawyers don't have any products to sell. The product we sell is our time and our expertise. Understandably, many types of lawyers do need to charge by the hour. But of course, there is kind of that suspicion or belief by their clients that they're trying to rack up hours to make as much as possible and bill as much to their clients as possible. So perhaps that's where it comes from, that people don't trust lawyers. I'm not sure. But the topic of this article, the reason why you can trust your injury lawyer is because most injury lawyers, including us, charge on contingency, which means we do not get paid until we get you a settlement for your injuries. We get paid based on results. There are not too many areas of law for lawyers, or even professions in general, where people are paid strictly on their results. In other words, on commission, I guess you could say. But even then, most commission jobs, the worker is working for their boss, and their compensation is based on how many things they sell or whatever it is. But here, you could say, in a way, we kind of work on commission for our clients. And in other words, we don't get paid until we get you a settlement. And then our fee is based on a percentage of the settlement. In other words, the bigger the settlement, the bigger the fee. There's no reason to think that your injury lawyer is trying to charge more hours or spend more time on the case than he needs to. In fact, it could kind of be the opposite, where an injury lawyer, in theory, you want your injury lawyer to spend, I don't know if we would say the least amount of time, but you would want your injury lawyer to move things along as quickly as possible. You don't want your lawyer to drag things out for years. You want them to get it done as quickly as possible. Obviously, that would mean that in the end, they end up working less than if they had dragged it out through a trial and appeals for years, right? So you could trust your lawyer knowing that he basically has the same interest as you, which is to get as big of a settlement for you and as soon as possible. Because the bigger the settlement he gets for you, the more he gets paid. The sooner he gets you a settlement, the sooner he gets paid. So really, you should trust your lawyer, your injury lawyer. Now, over the years, obviously there's all different types of clients that we have worked with. But you get those clients once in a while where you feel like they don't trust you, where they feel like you're not getting them as much as you could. And I understand, everyone wants a bigger settlement. Even the best settlements that we get for people, they're always like, oh, do you think we can get a little more? And I guess that's just human nature. I won't say that's a bad thing. It's just human nature to always get the maximum possible. That can be good with you in your life, setting goals, or in your own professions, trying to, advance as much as you can, or even in education. It can be a good thing, right? But people will always want more. But the concern, though, is when they assume that the lawyer, for some reason, they think you're not getting as much for them as is possible. And that just goes against common sense, right? Like, if your lawyer, unless for some reason you have a billionaire lawyer where he has zero interest in making more money, which even billionaires like to make more money, right? So pretty much anybody, if they can make more, they will. So to just assume that your lawyer isn't, even to assume he isn't working hard enough to get you, more money. He has every motivation there is, not just an unhappy client, but he also has the motivation of making as much as he can. So you have really no reason to not trust your lawyer. Now, the clients sometimes are slow to take lawyers' advice. They sometimes think, we're trying to make things up so that we can get out of work, or we can settle a case sooner than we need to. Believe me, that it is a balance, right? You want to settle a case as soon as possible, but you also want as much as possible. Those two interests don't always go together, because sometimes if you do want to get a settlement now instead of fighting it out in court for a couple years, it just makes sense that you would be willing to accept a little less now instead of maybe getting a little more by going to court. So there's always a little bit of a balance. So we're balancing these two interests, and we're going to help our clients to make those a wise decision as far as, if the insurance adjuster is offering a little less than they think they deserve, and they think that a jury will award, then they should strongly consider just accepting it. Now, of course, if adjusters are offering a lot less than they deserve or that they could get at court, then that's when they really need to think about going to court. This is a great article where we go into all of the reasons why somebody may not trust a lawyer. But in the end, this industry with insurance companies and their evaluations of claims, it rarely comes down to, we'll get clients that insist that if we just call and scream at an adjuster, that we'll get them a higher compensation. And that really is just not, I don't know if that's from the movies or if that's just kind of the way people think things happen in this world. But really, these insurance companies, they've settled millions of cases probably. They have been doing this for decades and decades. They have all the data that goes into these decisions as far as how much they offer somebody for those certain injuries. So in other words, we are usually working against a major machine at play, where these adjusters and these insurance companies kind of have it down to a science in how much they are offering our clients. So yes, we do provide them everything they need to hopefully make as big of a settlement offer as possible. We get them all the medical records and the medical bills, and we explain everything to the adjuster. We persuade them, but just screaming or arguing with adjusters, that just rarely is going to be beneficial, and it can actually be counterproductive, or it could actually end up hurting settlements as well. When I've kind of lost my cool with adjusters sometimes, that ends up really slowing down the settlement, where the adjuster kind of takes things personally, where before they're just being logical. So in summary, you know, I know it can be hard sometimes when you feel like you're not getting the settlement offer you deserve, or that you deserve, I should say. You know, and you want to blame somebody, and maybe the lawyer is an easy target to kind of blame him for, you know, what the settlement offer you're receiving. You know, just keep this in mind, that you really, it goes against, you know, common sense really to not trust your lawyer when he's telling you, you know, unfortunately this is a pretty reasonable settlement offer. This is pretty much what a jury will award you. We do recommend accepting this offer. You know, really try to do your best to trust your lawyer, and you know, just to not direct your discouragement or your you know, anger, I guess you could say, at him. You know, the real person to direct your anger at is the person that injured you in the first place. But then again, you know, hopefully it's just an accident, a negligent accident, and the insurance company is going to be making a reasonable settlement offer, and you can get a fair, you know, settlement for your injuries. Hopefully this was beneficial today. If you have any other questions, you just click on that free advice page on our website. You're going to see dozens of articles and web pages that can be helpful for you during this process. And of course, as always, you can call us for a free consultation. And as always, we do not charge anything until we get you a settlement for your injuries. So that way you have that assurance that we're going to do everything we can to get you a fair and reasonable settlement for your injuries. Again, please give us a call or fill out our contact form on our webpage, and we'll be happy to help you out. Thank you.